Got ourselves Advo on team 1. Looks like he's going to be first up. On that team is Kragar, whose team didn't really get to play. On the team, we got to swap up for a Frost DK. I don't even know how to say your name. NMSNPRNNS. Dude, it's actually just vowels. He's literally vowels. Wait. Oh, the opposite? Constants? Are vowels the A-E-O-U? The opposite of that. Right, it's literally all non-vowels. Gonna be Decimated Bolt out of Advo with a Tyrant up and running. Head go down, gonna be tricking out of here. Trying to make some damage happen. There's gonna be Cloak of Shadows out of the Rogue. Still getting blasted through Cloak of Shadows by those pets with the physical damage. Big axes flying him. And Larry, it's having a really Larry. I don't even know how to say your name. I think it's I-L-L-E-I-R-E. Larry? I'm gonna try my best. Larry. Can we call him Larry? It's Larry. I like that. Gonna be actually Larry catching up with a lot of healing though. Versus Advo, still Decimated Bolts are cracking in. And Advo got pretty decent Demon Bolts saved up. He still got 2 charges of Decimated Bolt. Those green orbs around him, that tells you how many he got in chamber. Larry though, going for a Shadow Blades, but also resetting completely. So his cooldown's a little bit mismatched, but at this point, this situation, the Rogue is just looking for survivability. Looking to get out of dodge. Kid is shot as he's Advo porting next to him. Advo for choosing to go for a trinket. Another Decimated Bolt getting set up, but the line of sight is so perfect for Larry. Still gonna be able to land it either way. Larry getting hit with a stun. That's gonna be puppy dogs. Oh no! Oh, it's so unfortunate. The Rogue tried to see if he could survive. It's a little bit of a mishmash opener. Enter getting feared away as Ava catching up on a bit of a flesh cat, at least trying to make sure there's a little bit of health to work with for him. Don't worry, bro. Always got open here for you. Appreciate you, Thundra. Appreciate you, my guy. Hey, Dal, hanging out at work, fam, Dal Nation. What's up, Jace? How you doing, my guy? Welcome to the duels. The Warlock has Xeno bolts in his chamber and ready to fire. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And Advo is somebody I think who played Destro and been playing a lot of demo. I think since Shadowlands or so. Still trying to get juke away from Anta. Look at that port. Just ported away and jumping back down. It looks like maybe he's waiting out for some cooldowns. I think Advo's maybe trying to prolong the game for the trinket. As he doesn't really have too long of offensive cooldowns. Pretty long defensive cooldowns. But nothing super crazy. On team 2, might as well introduce them. We got Fame Monster X. This guy's monstrous. As a monk, G-Fun go back Necrolord. Interesting tags. He's still rocking that Affliction. And we got Anta showing off that mount. While Advo is taking a sweet time, trying to poke at the Paladin just a little bit by sending in some pets. Going to be a stun onto Anta before the Paladin can even respond, as Advo got a full set of pets onto Anta with a second stun. That's going to be a full Tyrant with a Mortal Coil. Is actually could still go for a Decimated Bolt. That's still going to snapshot his ability. He snapshotted Decimated Bolt damage when Anta was about half health. So the Demon Bolts are still going to have a bit of damage to it. And so trying to go aggressively with that Wake of Ashes versus Advo. Probably should have turned around and used Wake of Ashes on the demons, at least stunning them. As those demons are burning right through him. One more Decimated Bolt. More Demon Bolt being really bad. Anta, no health whatsoever. Wings us up. Is he just trying to see if he can burn through the damage to the blind? Final wreck with a stun onto Advo. Still holding onto Flush Shield. Can Anta do this? Playing out defensively. Not going for them Templar verdicts. Or last verdicts, rather. Isn't getting that interrupt the rebuke on the fear. And Advo is still kind of okay on health, landing the fear into Anta, but Anta caught up on quite a lot of health. That is the most important part. Anta got aggressive, tried to see if you might be able to do some damage to Advo, but he did at least catch up on health. So that wasn't complete waste of your wings. He tried to make damage happen. He was playing really risky with it because he was literally one hit away. That blind, and he just trusted that everything is going to be blinded. No trinkets, no nothing. No random damage will just break a pet out in the open, because anything would have taken down at that point. That was actually so close. Advo just putting the pet back to give it a little bit of help, but not completely resetting with it. Summoning a Vile Fiend stun onto Antu. Blessing Protection comes out, and Advo does get interrupted, I think, on a fear. Still able to cast some of the demon summoning spells. Decimated Bolt onto Antu is going to be able to get a couple of those Demon Bolts in. Antu with a bit of damage of his own while Seraphim is up. Going to be Advo trying to lock out that Seraphim as best it can. Shield Advantage is up for Antu. Gives him at least a little bit of a defense. But looks like the lack of mobility being a Paladin is going to hurt him pretty hard. With Advo just putting him into fear, keeping him slow. Shadow Bolts for free. Antu got some mobility with a quick port out of the Warlock. Stun and a fear back into Antu. At least the boy got some hand of freedom for a moment. But Antu is back up to full health, doing okay. Normal bubble, normal blessing protection to get out of stuns. No trinket for a while, no shield of vengeance. Wings coming up very, very soon. So potentially he might be able to go somewhat aggressive. Unless Advo is going to go aggressive first. He still has one more Decimating Bolt, one more Demon Bolt ready to go. Stun into answer. Does he have the full lockout? Stun 1 into Mortal Coil. Decimating Bolt getting set up. Does he have the Demon Bolt to follow? Huge damage. And down goes the Paladin as Advo does end up sniping him out. And he still got, I think he still has a couple of Decimating Bolts, doesn't he? I don't see any of them spinning. I don't think Advo spent all of them at once into answer. And I think maybe that's a bug, but I believe, if I'm counting correctly, he might have 1 or 2 still left for Taxi. Taxi, speaking about Taxi, already getting tagged by those demons in the open. A Mortal Coil into the main pet of Advo, as Taxi just trying to get himself a little bit of health to work with. And that's going to be a pet sacrifice for Taxi as he's turning up the damage. He sometimes gets a pet out in the open just to make sure he has an interrupt. Like he'll have either the Succubus for CC against the melee, or you'll have maybe I don't know, an Imp for the freezing traps of a Hunter, or potentially the Dark Lair or Observer, if not a Fellhound. I think Dark Lair is the big summon with extensive dots, but you'll have an Observer just to get some interrupts, and then you can sacrifice it so you can land an interrupt as well. But also, you basically just want to sacrifice your pets for the DM. Advo does have a couple dots rolling on him. Taxi making sure to also dot up the other pets too. That's going to be agonies for chances of procs, but also just damage on its own. Trying to land a full solar into Advo, does get a full up and running with a big haze buff. Advo with the flesh cut, going to be Shackles Malediction for Taxi, trying to give Advo less to play with. That's going to be Taxi actually porting before that fear finishes, and Advo did use a Reflect. That is something to note. Advo did use a Reflect there for the Shackle. Look at the dots. They're actually just melting him. Advo is not in a good spot. Look at these dots just doing work. Darklight just got to walk it at Advo. I'm not really sure why it's waddling. That thing is not an auto attack pet. That thing is literally a spellcaster. But Advo is sitting at about half his health. It looks like the dots kind of extinguished, or at least the big buffs that make the dots really, really beefy extinguished once he got to about half his health or so. Going to be a full Tyrant on Taxi, taking a bit of damage. Does have a Dark Pact early just to make sure he has plenty of health to work with. Interrupted Advo on the Decimating Bolt. He wants to deny the Decimating Bolt as best as he can. Sometimes he won't be able to do so since he doesn't have a pet that helps him do this. Decimating Bolt is up. Taxi, at least not getting the execute version of the Decimating Bolts, but still Demon Bolts are going to hurt quite a bit. Especially with all these pets, all that damage together with now another Felguard joining the fight. That's a stun, maybe a second stun Taxi. Looks like it was with a fear right after. Just getting CC'd completely. Advo though, not completely healthy himself. Taxi got a lot of dots rolling on these pets. There's going to be Drain Life, sucking out the life right out of the demon pretty quickly. He is playing the build. I think it's Unstable Affliction, not Unstable Affliction, it's something else. But it's where Agony gives you a buff for your Drain Life, and the Drain Life is going to do more damage and heal for more as well. Taxi getting hit with the Mortal Coil, Advo trying to catch up on a bit of health. And Taxi going for that Dark Pact. The fact that you can use Dark Pact while it's CC'd, I think it's in a way kind of like a cheat code, dude. It's a really good defensive. It kind of sucks that if, let's say, you have your pet sacrifice, it will use your health to create a big shield. But still, it's really, really good. Just if you want to prevent damage while you're locked down on a minute, it's so good. I'm glad that it's at least a viable CD rather than what it was for like what felt like a couple expansions now. Advo with Summon Tyrant, going to be a stun around the corner of Taxi. Does he have any CC to follow up? Taxi bailing out of there pretty quickly. Could potentially go for a banish on the Tyrant, or maybe even the main pet of Advo. He is standing with all these pets. It looks like he's just going for the dots. Advo leaping in towards Taxi. He can hit with a Mortal Coil. Trinkets out of it. Mortal Coil Taxi back. Got to be a trinket out of Taxi. In order to reflect by the both the Warlocks, Taxi is going to have big haze buff rolling. Try to go for a setup versus Advo. Drain Life comes out. Is getting some healing off it. As that's going to be another stun on Taxi, maybe even interrupting him on Shadow. Try to go for a fear onto Advo. That's going to be Decimating Bolt. That is going to be Snapshot for big damage. Those Demon Bolts are going to do lots. One more could be really bad. The pets finish him off, and he still got one in the chamber. With G-Funk up next. That is such a bad matchup, I feel like, for Affliction Warlock versus Demonology. I feel like Demo just wins that almost by default. Just because of all that extra pet pressure and pet damage, Advo porting out onto a freezing trap. G-Funk had him set up from the start. Trinkets out of the CC. That's going to be stunned to Advo. G-Funk getting plenty free damage. Maybe potentially could go for. Actually, it looks like Advo already used the port. He's not going to get back up for a while. G-Funk getting hit with the fear. Advo just looking for a bit of health recovery. Is the Flesh Craft available? That is the question. Keeping G-Funk CC'd. Actually swapping the attention and the fear onto the undead pet of G-Funk. Trying not to get interrupted. That was a muzzle out of G-Funk. Trying to wall and just drain life off of the pet just to get whatever heal he can. Fear onto G-Funk again. And maybe Advo is trying to get the pet low, trying to focus the pet, potentially use the Decimated Bolt on the pet. Tyrant is available as G-Funk. No Trinket available. Into a Decimated Bolt. Let's use it on G-Funk. Gonna be feign death for a second. And big explosion onto Advo. Ports out of there. Actually still alive, but barely though. Might he have a flesh cap? Needs one. Or maybe a Warlock Hellstone. Anything. Turtle Shell out of G-Funk, Advent super low, trying to go for Drain Life on the pet of G-Funk as the demons are still chasing after the Hunter. Flesh Cap does have interrupted. He does get the intro, but he puts himself in a very vulnerable position. Unless he has a Mortal Coil or something, he might be dead. Kill shot out of G-Funk, taking him out, ending the reign of that Demonology Warlock, at least for the time of this game. With, I don't even know what to call you. What would he call this guy? Chat, what do you call him? Like, even translated in Russian, it's literally all is it consonants? It's like everything but vowels. That's what his name is. NM. We could call him NM. Like M&M, but the NM part. That's it. Got himself the big slappy hand. G-Funk not doing that good against the slappy hand. And without a defensive to really stopgap the damage out of the Death Knight, he does go down. Not a lot you can really do in that situation. Looks like Fame Monster is last one left on Team 2. Super unfortunate for him. But honestly, this is the Fame Monster. Why would you have the name Monster unless you were just gonna surprise us with damage out of nowhere? Try to go for a Lex with Big Fist of Fury onto an M and taking him out just like that. Oh my goodness. Just like that with... I guess we're gonna call him tanks. Getting blasted right now. Still so in full damage. Was that a BDB on top of it? Thanks trying to go for as much self-healing as possible. Trying to survive it. Karma for Fame Monster X. Thanks could go for a bubble. Blessing of protection instead. Wait, if the Bob disappears, Fame Monster could maybe capitalize on this. As he's kind of okay for now. Wait. Are you a Necrolord? Oh my... Oh, he is a Necrolord. Look at that. You got the slime shield. I didn't see the flash kept in the open at all. So that could be big damage out of things, by the way. Because the damage he does, and maybe if he's running the... I don't really... Actually, I wonder what kind of legendary he's running. Because if he is running the Gava legendary, that could be a lot of damage. That's a lot of holy power. That's quite a bit of bursts together. That's a Tempest Verdict with a Divine Storm all at once. And even on single target, it does quite a significant damage. In PvP in particular. In cap, as Fame Monster trying to see if he can survive, but I think Thanks got him pinned in the corner. Gonna be a Diffuse Magic, trying to live the Holy in the shadow damage, and as soon as he's a Trinket out of the Paladin, bails out of there. But Thanks charging in. Shield of Vengeance, Hat of Freedom, Pony. Fame Monster got more mobility than you can imagine, though. So the Monk potentially is gonna be able to get a recovery. What's up, Azad? How you doing, my guy? Hope you're having a good one. I hope one day Blizzard adds staff animations to casting classes instead of just one hands. That would be dope. I agree with you, Jace. I actually agree with you. Maybe in the next 0.5 patch, that'll be something for them to consider. So when you cast some spells, you kind of utilize your staff, or maybe like the wand. That'd be kind of neat. Yeah, I wonder what that would look like. I guess just more spells to incorporate the staff animation, maybe. I don't think it used to be like basic spells, but maybe like certain cooldowns or certain spells you cast every so often. Add the staff, kind of like the artifact weapon animations. I think that could look really good. You know? That's a lot of damage. Yeah, it is, dude. Thanks, though. Trying to see if we can do this. Drink it out of Fame Monster. Thanks didn't even pop cooldowns. That was just a Hammer of Justice. It didn't even have the gavel. It does have the full flash cut of the Karma. And Thanks potentially could go for a bubble here. Fame Monster got a lot of damage. Maybe early bubble before he drops in health. Fame does not get himself the big mobility with a kick. With the serpent kick across the room, just gotta hit the wall. It's gonna have a port, and Thanks does use wings. Is that a proc for wings, or is that real wings, though? That is the question. I guess we'll find out in a second if they disappear, and there's still a cooldown for it. I think it's a real wings. I think it's real wings. Fame only has one defensive, that is Diffuse Magic, but also he has the mobility. Nothing says you can't run away from a fight, and you might as well just bail out of there. There's no point of charging headstrong into a paladin, especially as they have wings available. Thanks, on the other hand, could be in a good spot, though. The Gavel could be surprising amount of damage versus Fame. We'll find out. Going to be a Hammer of Justice. Fame getting hit with a Gavel. Does have a Flash Cut available. Burning through a Flash Cut pretty quickly. Diffuse Magic used immediately. And as soon as he saw the Paladin run in the other direction, he bailed out of there, trying to create distance, trying to maintain his health as best he can. I wonder if Thanks does have a blind for this one. I don't know if blind would be helpful. BDB burst out of Fame. Shield of Vengeance up for Thanks. Is going to burst back to Fame. Fame with that Shackles Malediction. Thanks trying to see if he can break out of it. Shackles still on him, though. Trying to go for Flesh Cut, breaking through the Shackles. and he's at least able to get himself some kind of absorb, breaking through it pretty quickly with a Rise of Sun kick. Thanks, in a bad spot, unless he gets a Hodge right now. Does get the Hodge, is that it though? Oh, he does do it. Oh my god, look at how many Necrolords we got. We got Admiral the Necrolord, G-Funk the Necrolord, Fame the Necrolord, and now Thanks the Necrolord. It's a Necrolord takeover, boys, especially with some of the buffs that Necrolords are getting next patch, dude. With 9.1 so far, I don't think it's a final list, but all the conduits for Necrolords are just getting beefed.